I know a guy named Dave. Dave is a luthier, a guitar maker. He's also an engineer, a teacher, a small business owner, and a worship leader. In September of 2021, Dave came to Maine to participate in a leadership retreat hosted by my brother, Ben. Ben had asked Dave to lead the group in some times of musical worship during the retreat, and Dave had agreed, with the caveat that he borrow a guitar upon arrival rather than bringing one with him. Being a guitar junkie himself, and knowing that Dave was serious about his instruments, Ben borrowed my uncle's D28 12-string Martin. Now, you have to understand, my family back in Maine lives and dies by its music. Our family reunions are basically choir practices, with some lobster and blueberries thrown in for kicks. And for the last 30 years or so, the centerpiece of that musical heritage has been my Uncle Steve's D28 12-string Martin guitar. It's got some years behind it, but it's a nice guitar. So Ben borrows one of our family's most prized possessions for Dave to use during the retreat. Dave shows up at the house, pulls out the guitar, and gets himself introduced to it. Ben's standing there watching, hoping Dave is happy, so he asks Dave, what do you think? Will this work for the weekend? And Dave says, yeah, for sure, it's a good guitar. And then he pauses. I tell you what, though, it would be even better if I took a 32nd of an inch off the bridge saddle. Do you think your uncle would mind if I took it apart and did that? Ben calls Uncle Steve, poses the question, reassures him that Dave really does know what he's doing, and there in my parents' living room, Dave disassembles the guitar, shaves down the bridge saddle a bit, and then puts it back together. He plays it for the weekend, then returns it to my uncle. And when Uncle Steve gets it back, he pulls it out, plays it a bit, and says, "Wow, it sounds better." That guitar was already pretty good. Dave made it better. He made it better by knowing things that I don't know, hearing things that I can't hear, seeing things that I can't see, and doing things that I can't do. I like music. I play the guitar. I've even played that guitar, my uncle's guitar. But I can't make that guitar better. It took a specific combination of musical and technical and, by the way, relational skill to do what Dave did with that guitar. I'm never going to do exactly what he did. To be honest, I'm not terribly interested in being able to do that. But I am interested in doing in my field what Dave does in his. I am interested in getting really good at making things better. So this podcast is about anything and everything that gets us better at making things good and good at making things better. It's called extreme stewardship, because the first thing to say about getting better at making things good and good at making things better is that both we ourselves and whatever we're working on don't belong to us. We are stewards of what is God's, not owners of what is ours. And in a world that prioritizes getting as the ultimate good and self as the ultimate end, that's pretty extreme.